Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another Sports Stuff video. Today, we are talking about all quarterbacks in the NFL starting games right now. Where do I see them in the grand scheme of things? Are they a franchise quarterback, a bridge quarterback, a backup quarterback, or a one-year flyer quarterback? So, are they guys that either I would have for the next 10 years, my guy, have as a 2 or 3 year starter, so I could start him and feel somewhat comfortable as him as a starter, maybe get into the playoffs. Backup quarterback is okay. They're skilled. They're not skilled enough to lead a franchise, but they definitely are good enough to be on a roster. And like if needed because of injury, I feel comfortable with them starting. And one-year flyer is guys that I don't think I would ever sign to a long-term extension, but I would sign them as a one-year gap starter if it was like, you know what, we gotta do it for a year. So if you guys enjoyed, please like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into the video. So Joe Flacco is obviously a one-year flyer. He's the type of quarterback that, you know what, right now at this point of his career, if you need a quarterback to start who has a lot of run underneath his belt, it's Joe Flacco. He's the guy. He's gonna be the one-year flyer until he retires. I think it is gonna retire at the end of the season in Cleveland. It was very rough. The stuff that we again, I'm recording this Saturday, week 5. By the way, the week 6 games have not started. They start tomorrow. This is Saturday of week 6. Thursday night football's been played, so I don't know what Joe Flacco looks like in Cincinnati. But Joe Flacco is right now the one-year flyer that you sign him for 1 year. I wouldn't count as a bridge quarterback. I don't see him as a multi-year guy. Backup, again, I wouldn't feel I feel more comfortable with him being as like a one-year flyer. You sign him, see what you can get out of him, and then after the year you leave him be. So I think Joe Flacco, again, we'll see what he does in Cincinnati. But if he continues his run that he had in Cleveland, it is going to be a rough couple of games for Cincinnati. Because I just don't think Joe Flacco is what he was in 2023, even in 2024 with Indianapolis. I think Joe Flacco's taking a massive step back. But hopefully he proves me wrong. I hope Joe proves me wrong in Cincinnati. But yeah, one-year flyer, I feel comfortable with as him as like you sign him for 1 year, you do not want him multi-year. Kyler Murray, I want to say franchise quarterback. I think I'm going to go bridge quarterback. I don't think Kyler Murray will be on his team, will be on the Arizona Cardinals in 3 years. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Cardinals, while I don't think Kyler Murray is all the issues in Arizona, right? I think Drew Petzing is doing a really bad job this season. And I think with the run game now, with no James Conner, no Trey Benson, it's going to be awful run game. Marvin Harrison randomly just stopped playing football for 4 weeks. He's starting to play football again now, but he just stopped playing football for 4 weeks. Their defense, I like their defense, but I'm a very big Arizona Cardinals believer. But for me, I just don't see them keeping Kyler Murray within the next 3 years. I think he'd easily get flipped for multiple picks. So I think bridge quarterback for the next team is going to be on. I think he's good enough to be that top 16 starter, but I just don't see him as someone that you hook your ball and chain to if you're a team like Arizona. Now, if you're a team with an elite head coach and offensive play caller, for example, Sean McVay in Los Angeles, that could be a franchise quarterback spot, but I'm going to go bridge quarterback right now. I think you can easily have him for 3 or 4 years and feel comfortable with him as a bridge quarterback while you kind of reload and try and find a franchise guy. Josh Allen, obviously, is a franchise quarterback, reigning MVP, at worst, the 3rd best quarterback in the league, at best, number 1. No matter what, Josh Allen's a franchise quarterback. You build whole franchises around him. If you're going to tear down your roster to bare bones, Josh Allen is staying on your roster. Whether it's his rushing, his throwing, I don't have to explain to it. Franchise quarterback. Jaden Daniels, I think, is also a franchise quarterback. After his rookie year, I was probably inching him towards top 10 range. Right now, I'm cool keeping him at like 12 or 13 when it comes to quarterback ranking. I don't know what Jaden Daniels. He's taking. I'm not gonna say he's taking a step back in his sophomore year, but he hasn't progressed how I thought he could. Now, also around that, they don't have Brian Robinson. They don't have Austin Eckler anymore. It's just Bill. Terry McLaurin's been in and out with injury. Deebo Samuel's 32 at wide receiver. Zach Ertz is 35 at tight end, and they have a really poor offensive line. Now, Josh Connerly looked interesting, but I definitely want to see more from the Washington offense as the season progresses. It's only week 6. We're going into week 6, so this is where I want teams to start getting their identity. And I think Bill, he's doing a great job at running back. Jaden Daniels hopefully can continue to progress as a passer. But I think definitely I view him on the Washington Commanders for a very long time. Unless without, God, knock on wood, if Jaden Daniels doesn't get injured, I don't see him leaving the Washington Commanders. Drake May, I'm going to put in the exact same thing. Year 1, I was impressed with Drake May, but I wasn't like, oh, this is going to be a top 10 quarterback in the league very soon. I didn't have that opinion of him after year 1. I thought he was a good quarterback, but right now, he's doing amazing this year. Whether it's Stephon Diggs, whether it's Kyle Williams, whether it's Demario Douglas and Kayshon Boutte. They have great tight ends in Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper, a solid offensive line. They finally have a team around a quarterback that I genuinely like. And Drake May is taking full advantage of all those targets. If you guys didn't see that throw of him rolling out of the pocket, going to the right and chucking it down for a first down at the right hash, it was amazing. Like, Drake May's playing over my expectations so far. I can't believe I'm saying this. Josh McDaniels needs to not be a head coach ever again. He needs to stay as the Patriots offensive coordinator. I thought that was a joke when they hired him. When Mike Vrabel came back to be the head coach of the Patriots and they hired Josh McDaniels to come back as the OC, that's I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Josh McDaniels is not a good coordinator. He's not a good head coach. He was an okay coordinator under Tom Brady, but how much of that was it was Tom Brady, throwing the ball? Obviously, John McDaniels is a pretty good play schemer. He's not really the best head coach, but if he can stay as offensive coordinator for Drake May for a couple of years, hey man, that is gonna help Drake May a lot. And again, my opinion of Drake May is very high right now, so I definitely feel like Drake May is a franchise quarterback. Caleb Williams, I'm putting in the same range. I'm gonna put him above Drake May. I do think Caleb Williams is showing all the talent that I knew he had. Right after his rookie year, he took the most sacks in the league, had a piss poor offensive line, and still showed moments of like, oh, this dude's legit. This is a franchise quarterback that can change the Chicago Bears. And now you pair him up with Ben Johnson, and through the first 5 weeks, they've had ups and downs, but when they're clicking, this is a 35 points a game offense, right? Whether it's DJ Moore, Luther Burden, Roman Dunze, Colson Loveland, who's really having a rough season so far, Cole Kmet, an okay offensive line. They're really good at run blocking, but pass blocking, they're having a lot of issues. Once the Bears get a real run game going, this offense is going to kick it into high gear. It's going to kick it into high gear. Because right now, they don't have a run game. DeAndre Swift is their leading rusher, and that's a joke. DeAndre Swift has already been in a Ben Johnson offense, and it didn't work, and it's not working the second time around. I don't see DeAndre Swift being on this team next year. I hope they get a guy like Jeremiah Love to be their David Montgomery for this offense, and they can somehow get a Jahmyr Gibbs whether it's someone in free agency or a trade. I hope they can get their Jahmyr Gibbs, but David Montgomery is in the draft this upcoming year with Jeremiah Love, so I'm hoping that's what the Bears go. They were very big on Ashton Jeanty, obviously, and they were trying to get Ashton Jeanty, but the Raiders drafted him at 6 overall. So I think this run game needs more help. And I think the way to do that is to let this year play out. Because I think Caleb Williams is the franchise quarterback for them. He can make every throw. He can play out of structure. He can play in structure with timing throws. And he knows how to avoid sacks in the pocket right now. He's doing a great job. I'm all in on Caleb Williams being a franchise quarterback. Aaron Rodgers, again, kind of like Joe Flacco, they're the older veterans in the league right now. 1 year flyer. You sign him for 1 year. See if your team can get better. Develop guys around Aaron Rodgers while you try and get ready for a rookie quarterback in the next year. That's what Aaron Rodgers is right now. Do I think Aaron Rodgers is going to retire at the end of the year? I do. I think we're going to see a couple of guys that we're going to talk about here in this video retire at the end of the year, because I just don't see what is, what's the upside for Aaron Rodgers next year, right? Already in Pittsburgh, he is a statue. Last year with the Jets, he had a little bit of mobility even after his torn Achilles. But this year in Pittsburgh, man, he's throwing a lot of balls away. Obviously they're winning games, so they're winning games. No knock here. But I just don't see Aaron Rodgers anything more than a 1 year flyer. Even if he does return next year, it won't be in Pittsburgh. It'll be with another team that just wants a 1 year flyer of Aaron Rodgers to see if they can get, can they squeeze the last ounce of NFL play out of Aaron Rodgers. That's what every team is doing right now. That's what the Jets are trying to do. That's what the Steelers are trying to do. And let's just say he goes to another team next year. That's what they're going to do as well. Bo Nix, I'm going with bridge quarterback. Again, everyone knows I was very low on Bo Nix coming out of college, but he, again, really changed my opinion of him throughout the year last year. I thought he had a fantastic year. He was making every big time throw that was needing to be made. And again, he also was able to consistently sustain drives. This year, while you have J.K. Dobbins, yes, you have R.J. Harvey, they can't consistently make drives happen. It looks like they struggle in the passing game to get things going. Now, yes, they did lose their pass game coordinator. He went to Chicago to be the offensive coordinator. So that is going to be a little bit of loss to the pass game that was so spectacular last year. They've taken a step back. And Bo Nix, in my opinion, has taken a little bit of a step back. He's still higher than I thought he was. But I want to see more from Bo Nix. As of right now, in 3 or 4 years, if Bo Nix, at this exact rate he's playing, is playing quarterback, I could see an extension. But I could also see them saying, you know what? We haven't seen a whole lot of progression out of Bo Nix. Everyone knows what he is. He's the 15th or 16th best quarterback in the league. Do we really want to pay $55, $60 million a year to a guy that's 15th in the NFL? I don't know if that's what we want to do. So I'm gonna put him at bridge quarterback. Then we got Patrick Mahomes. Okay, franchise quarterback. No need to talk about it. He again at worst the third best quarterback in the league, and at best is the first overall quarterback in this league. Most teams would want to build around Patrick Mahomes. Let's just call it how it is. Whatever. Tua Tagovailoa. I think Tua gets way too much hate. I think Tua gets a lot of hate that isn't really deserved. While he's not the greatest quarterback in the world, I do see him as a bridge quarterback. I don't see him as a franchise, right? I want to make sure it's very known. I don't think Tua's gonna be on the Miami Dolphins next year. However, if he is, I think they need to build an offense around Tua. Right now, while Mike McDaniel is not an awful play caller, I think him as a head coach has been an issue. It's his first time being a head coach for a team that has a quarterback that constantly puts his body in harm's way and is not the greatest athlete in the world. But I do think there is a world where Tua Tagovailoa is a top 10 quarterback. There is a world where I see that still, right? If you can get an offense, kind of like with Jared Goff with the Detroit Lions, right? Where you have a sustainable run game and you take the easy checkdowns that create big plays eventually, Tua can do that. In my opinion, I feel like Tua is being coached to always look for the big play. And that's not amazing, right? That's not an amazing thing to do. It's to always look for the big play. But as of right now, I think he's a bridge quarterback. I don't think he'll be on Miami next year. But if he is, I see them as a 2 or 3 year starter. Like, you know what? Let's get the rest of the team built around Tua as good as we can. We'll move on from Tua when we're allowed to through the cap. Because right now there's a lot of dead cap you'd be eating. Let's work around it. And once we can trade or cut Tua, we're going to do it and get our guy. I think that's going to happen in Miami. I think there are other teams in the NFL that would like to trade for Tua. Because I don't think he's the worst quarterback in the league. And I hope that Tua gets more success elsewhere. But as of right now, I'm gonna sell my stock of Tua and see him more as a 2 or 3 year starter to kind of bridge over to a franchise guy than actually be a franchise guy. Next, we have Geno. I think Geno's a serviceable backup right now. It sucks to see what's happening in Las Vegas. I'm a very, very big fan of Tua Tagovailoa, but we can all agree it's not working out. It's not working out to be a starter. I don't know what is going on, whether it's the offensive line being piss poor, whether it's Chip Kelly's offense, whether it's Geno regressing as a passer, whatever it is. Geno Smith lost what he had in Seattle last year. Was Geno a top 10 quarterback last year? No. But Geno was not this, right? He was not this. I don't know if it's a scheme, if it's his mindset change after the big payday and the Raiders wanting him to be their quarterback. I don't know what's going on, but I just don't see Geno lasting the rest of the season as a starter. They traded for Kenny Pickett for a reason. I think it's a very real chance if the Raiders lose this week and go to 1-5 that they're not going to start Geno for the rest of the year. They're going to move to Kenny Pickett, who's 26 years old, has shown flashes in the NFL, and try and get their future of the quarterback in Kenny Pickett at a cheap price. I think that's what could happen. So as of right now, Geno, because of the turnover issues, because of his unwillingness to just throw the ball away or to, run for a couple of yards rather than throw a deep pass and get picked off. Whatever is going on, I'm going to put him as a backup quarterback. Justin Herbert, franchise quarterback. I'm going to put him higher than these guys. Justin Herbert is a franchise quarterback. He can make every throw in the book. Again, everyone's going to call him a hypothetical quarterback, hypothetical top 10 quarterback. I do think when it comes to skill level and play alone, Justin Herbert is a top 10 quarterback. The issue in my mind is that his offensive line is continuously being injured. Quentin Johnson looks amazing finally, but Ladd McConkey's taking a step back. Their run game, multiple injuries. Najee Harris out for the season. Marion Hampton on IR. Now he has freaking Kamani Vidal and Hassan Haskins as his running backs. That's tough to play with. A degrading offensive line because of injuries. One wide receiver who's playing consistently good. And Trey Harris, by the way. Trey Harris has done nothing this year. And then your running backs are now both out for one for the season, one for 4 weeks. That's a tough thing to work around. And their defense lost Khalil Mack. Like, they traded for Odafe Owe. I like Odafe Owe. But Justin Herbert's dealing with a lot of stuff right now. These next 3 or 4 games are going to show truly if Justin Herbert is him, if he's that guy that can lead the Chargers to a Super Bowl. If he can win multiple games here with a degrading offensive line, empty running back room, one true wide receiver, and he can still win games, I think they can do it. Now, they're on a 2-game losing streak, but I think if Justin Herbert can come back from that, I'd feel even more comfortable with him being a franchise quarterback. But right now, he can make every throw in the book. I'm with Justin Herbert as a franchise quarterback. Justin Fields, I'm going to have him as a 1-year flyer. I think he's going to keep bouncing around the league as a 1-year flyer starter. I think he has enough talent to do it and not enough talent to stick around somewhere for a long term. While he's looked good in New York, right? Obviously, that week 2 game was awful. but week 1 looked really good. His last 2 games he's played, he's looked really good. Obviously, most of it's in the fourth quarter. But again, that's where the money gets made in the NFL. Are you a fourth quarter producer? If you are, and you can somehow get your team back in the games, hey, guess what? You're going to keep playing in the NFL. And a lot of the issues with the Jets are on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, when you're a quarterback, you can't control if your defense puts up 30 points. Like, you can't control that. So I'm gonna go with the New York Giants. Wow. I'm gonna go with Justin Fields being a 1-year flyer. I know he did sign a 2-year deal with the New York Jets, but I think easily they're going to get out of that contract this offseason and they land elsewhere as a 1-year starter. And like, hey, maybe if he plays really good, we'll extend him. It's going to keep doing that routine for a couple of years. I don't think he's going to be a backup quarterback, but I do think he's going to be a 1-year flyer starter. Trevor Lawrence. Sorry, I had to take a sip of water. My voice. I recorded 4 videos today, by the way. I'm really trying to pump out content for you guys. Trevor Lawrence. Ask me before the season, he's a bridge quarterback. Ask me right now, he's their franchise. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is going anywhere in the next 3 years. If he can even do like 80% of what he's done this year for the next 3 years, this is their franchise quarterback. They've already signed him to a massive extension, so he's already going to be there no matter what because of money. But I think they're going to be comfortable with him at quarterback now. All they got to do is build the offensive lineup and get their wide receivers in check. Because for some reason, their wide receivers are not in check, and they're playing really bad so far this year. If I'm the Jags, Trevor Lawrence is the one guy in the offensive unit that I know is going to be here for the next 3 years. I like Travis Etienne. They trade Tank Bigsby because of how good Bashaw Tutin and Travis Etienne have been. But Trevor Lawrence is the guy. I think he's the guy on this offense you need to build around. Before the season, it was definitely like, hey, Trevor Lawrence, it's looking rough, buddy. You might be on another team in the next 2 or 3 years if you look bad in this Liam Cohen offense. But Liam Cohen's doing a really good job getting the most out of Trevor Lawrence. So as of right now, franchise quarterback. I feel comfortable with that as a franchise quarterback. Daniel Jones. I'm going to go with bridge quarterback. Yes, he looks amazing. Okay, I want to make sure it's very known. He will get an extension, whether it's during the season or after the season. He's not going anywhere. Indiana Jones is staying in Indianapolis for at least the next 2 years. At minimum 2 years. The question is he going to get a 4-year extension and after those 4 years feel comfortable with giving him another 3 or 4 year extension? I don't want to say yes to that. I don't want to. I can't say yes to Daniel Jones being a quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts as a starter for 4 years. I don't know. I think definitely next year and definitely the season after, there's no doubt in my mind Daniel Jones will be their quarterback. But that's a bridge quarterback. That's within the bridge, next 2 or 3 years. Are they on their team? Yes. But are they going to be a signed 4-year massive extension where you're confident in them and they're going to be your guy that you build around? I can't say yes to that. So Daniel Jones at bridge quarterback, if he keeps playing like this all year, man, my opinion is going to change real quick. He's going to be right at the end of the franchise quarterback. But right now, he is at the top of bridge quarterback. He's on the fringes right now. CJ Stroud. Man. I'm going to put him right beneath Daniel Jones as a bridge quarterback. He has taken a massive step back since his rookie season. He's in year 3, and he looks worse than he did his rookie year. Now, is it because of his offensive line? Absolutely. Is it because of his running backs? Absolutely. Absolutely. But you have Dalton Schultz, you have Nico Collins, you have Jalen Noel, you have Jaden Higgins. That is 5 receiving threats that I really like. Christian Kirk as well. That is a bunch of dudes I really like. The issue is that the offensive line and the running backs are not letting their wide receivers get enough time downfield to get open. And CJ Stroud is struggling because of that. So is it 100% CJ Stroud's fault? No, I don't think it is. But I don't think the Houston Texans set him to an extension this offseason. I don't see it happening. I easily think after next year, right? Next year, if they improve all those issues and he looks good, he could easily get an extension. But do I think that CJ Stroud will be the Houston Texans quarterback in 3 years? I don't know. I don't know. I would like to think so. I like CJ Stroud. I really do. I like what he's done in Houston overall. But man, whether it's because the offensive coordinators have been rotating in and out, the offensive line play, the running back play, he isn't doing what I thought he could do. And that, for me, is to be a bridge quarterback where I don't know if he'll be in the Houston Texans in 3 years. I don't know. So I'm going to say bridge quarterback. Lamar Jackson, I'm going to put him at number 1 franchise quarterback. I think Lamar Jackson is the number 1 quarterback in the league. I think he's one of the best players overall in the league. I love Lamar Jackson. He's a franchise quarterback. He is someone that I would build a franchise around every single damn day. Brock Purdy, again, also a franchise quarterback. I'm going to put him above Trevor Lawrence. He is definitely the guy in San Francisco. While McCorkle Jones has played amazing, it's different with Brock Purdy, right? I think everyone can agree Brock Purdy's a franchise quarterback. He, as a 7th round talent, as Mr. Irrelevant, has completely changed the San Francisco 49ers. This is a team that's about to fire everyone. After the Trey Lance draft pick and Jimmy Garoppolo, this franchise was about to ruin it was about to tear it down, and Brock Purdy saved them. This dude can make almost every throw in the book, plays on timing, great out of structure as well. I really like Brock Purdy. I would die to have Brock Purdy on my team. He's the consistent gunslinging quarterback who, if needed, will run for a first down. I love how he plays. I'm a very big fan of Brock Purdy. Do I think he's a top 5 quarterback? Absolutely not. But he's absolutely a franchise quarterback in my mind. Next, we have Sam Darnold. Again, right beneath Daniel Jones. He's the bridge quarterback right now. After the Minnesota tenure, he's in Seattle for 3 years. Do I think he can get an extension after 3 years? Absolutely. If Clint Kubiak and Sam Darnold keep this up for the entire season, and I don't think Clint Kubiak will be hired this year. I think he'll be hired after next season, so he'll be a 2027 NFL head coach candidate. I think they'll at least get 2 years together, and after the 2 years, Sam Darnold will be up for an extension. I do think if they can play like this for the next 2 years, he will get an extension. So while I want to say franchise quarterback, I'm not comfortable yet. He's right beneath Daniel Jones, as if he can continue how he's playing all of this year and all of next year, I absolutely see an extension in the works for Sam Darnold. Matt Stafford, at this point of his career, is a 1-year flyer, but he's to be at the very top of 1-year flyer. You don't see him in the NFL in 3 years. Matt Stafford, before this season started, had a lot of back issues, back spasms, back spurs. He didn't practice at all during training camp, didn't practice at all during mini camp, during OTAs. He didn't play at all. He didn't practice. But he's played amazing so far this year. Whatever drugs he's taken, I want him. I want him. He's played amazing. But I think at this point of his career, let's just say he leaves Los Angeles in the offseason, but he wants to keep playing. He's going to be just like Aaron Rodgers, a 1-year flyer until he retires. I don't see another team giving him a multi-year contract. If he does stay in LA, it'll be a 1-year flyer at a time contract. It won't be a multi-year extension. So at this point of his career, why I still like Matt Stafford, he's playing great this year, I'm going with a 1-year flyer. Jared Goff is going to be right above Justin Herbert as a franchise quarterback. This dude is not going anywhere from Detroit. I don't see Detroit moving on from him. I don't see him leaving Detroit. He is this current iteration of the Lions. He's what? How old is Jared Goff? How old is Jared Goff? He's got to be what, 30, 31? He's 30 years old. Jared Goff is 30 years old. He can be on the Lions for another 6-7 years. 6-7. And I'd feel very comfortable with that. If he can keep this elevation of play, no matter what the offensive coordinator is, because apparently it doesn't matter who the OC is, it's Dan Campbell who is honestly keeping his team together. Jared Goff is the quarterback for the Detroit Lions. There is no one until he's like 35 or 36 that need to start worrying about, oh man, what's the plan post Jared Goff? What's the plan? Don't need to worry about it. Don't need to. It's Jared Goff, and you feel comfortable with it being Jared Goff. Jordan Love, I'm going to put him above Trevor Lawrence, but below Brock Purdy and franchise quarterback. I think Jordan Love is a very good quarterback, but I don't think, if he has 2 bad years in a row, I think they're willing to move off of him, because there's nothing that Jordan Love does that's special. That's like, oh, that's a Jordan Love special, right? Like Lamar, it's his elusiveness. Patrick Mahomes, it's he can make any throw in the book. It's Josh Allen, his physical running style. Jared Goff, it's that he can literally dice apart a defense as needed. Justin Herbert, it's the if factor. It's if he's this, if he's that. It's him. Brock Purdy plays in structure better than most quarterbacks in the league. Jordan Love is good. True gunslinger. But he likes to throw the ball a little too much, put the ball in a little bit too much of harm's way. If he has 2 years back-to-back of where it's mediocre play, and he's making all this money, I can see the Packers moving on from him purely for financial reasons. So I'm going to put him at the fringe end of franchise quarterback, but still in it. Because if he just keeps this level of play he's playing at right now for the next 5 years, he's staying with the Green Bay Packers. He's getting an extension. He's their franchise quarterback. JJ McCarthy, tough. I'm at the very end of bridge quarterback. I haven't seen enough from him to be a franchise quarterback. Honestly, I've seen a lot that I liked from JJ McCarthy. He's had a lot of rough moments and a lot of rough games. Now, again, it's his first 4 games in the NFL that were really, I think, first 3 games. I think he's been hurt since week 3. Injuries are being an issue already. He missed all of his rookie season with an injury. He's now missed 2, maybe even 3 games. I don't know if he's playing tomorrow. Might even be 3 games he's missing in year 2 in the first 6 weeks. Injuries might be an issue for JJ McCarthy. But even when he was healthy, he had a lot of downs. He had a few good upsides I liked, but a lot of downsides, and now he's injured again. So I'm going to go bridge quarterback. I don't know if in 3 or 4 years he's going to be on the Vikings. If he continues to play like this, he might not even last his 3rd year. He might get next year, and that's it. But they're going to give him multiple years. They know they have their head coach. They know they have their GM. I just don't know if they have their quarterback. And right now, very end of bridge quarterback beneath Tua. Bryce Young is in the exact same boat. I'm going to put him above Tua, though, because he's not making all that money. I think Bryce Young's going to get his full contract. I don't think Bryce Young's going to get traded. I think they're going to rock with Bryce Young as long as they can. And I think it's going to be for his full rookie contract. Now, does he get extended after his rookie contract? Right now, I'd say no. It sucks. I was a big believer of the Panthers this year, but their offense looks putrid. They have good moments. Like anything to Ted McMillan looks amazing. But anything to any other wide receiver, any other running back, any other tight end looks god-awful. Their offensive line, I liked Ike Ekwonu coming out of the draft. I like Taylor Moton. But man, their offensive line still doesn't look great. Bryce Young is having a lot of ups and downs, and it's year 3. Listen, Bryce, there's got to be a moment where, you gotta lock in or lock out. That's the 2 options. You either lock in and become their franchise quarterback, or you lock yourself out and you're their bridge quarterback, and in 2 years, they're drafting someone else. That's just the NFL world, and right now, I have a feeling that they're leaning more towards moving on from Bryce Young in a couple of years than keeping him long term. Michael Penix, I'm going to put him right beneath Sam Darnold in bridge quarterback. It's year 2. That's why I'm saying this as a bridge quarterback. It's year 2. He's going to get his full rookie contract. So in 3 years, he's going to be on the team. But do you want to give him an extension after that? I don't know. He's, again, just like Bryce Young this year. He's had a lot of ups and downs. But is that Zach Robinson, right? Is it more the play calling and play scheming than it is Michael Penix? Or is it more Michael Penix for not executing the plays? We don't know. We're not in the room. We're not in the film room. We're not in the front office. We're not in the coaching room. We don't know. So I'm going to put him as a bridge quarterback. Again, he's going to be there in 3 years, but I don't know if he has the talent to be a franchise quarterback yet. Cam Ward, I want to put, it's tough. I'm going to put Cam Ward at the very end of franchise because we don't know what he is. But he's looked good. He himself has looked really solid so far in his career with the Titans through 5 games. Has it been pretty? Heck no. It has not been pretty. But this Titans roster is so bad that I don't know if it's on Cam Ward, right? Their offensive line can't stop a nosebleed. Their run game is inconsistent. Eli Manor and Cam Ward look amazing, but their defense outside of Jeffrey Simmons is awful. Like, everything about the Titans is bad. And again, the head coach was supposed to be an offensive mind, has already given up play calling duties. How are you an offensive head coach and giving up play calling duties? Year 2, week 4. Right? That's not good. So Cam Ward, I'm going to put the end of franchise quarterback because he's a rookie, and we don't know yet because the roster is so bad. Excuse me. Oh my God. Baker is absolutely I'm going to put him right above Trevor Lawrence because Baker has been proven in Tampa that right now he's clicking. Everything is clicking. If Baker continues this level of play for the next 2 or 3 years, he's going to get an extension, right? I think Baker's up for an extension after this year. Baker Mayfield contract. I believe he's up for an extension after this season. Let's see. 2025. Yep, so he's entering the next year's his last year of his contract. Next year. There is no doubt in my mind after this year, they're going to sign him to a 3 or 4 year extension and rip up the old contract. So Baker, in my mind, is a franchise quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It took a tenure in Carolina, a tenure in Los Angeles, and finally found his home in Tampa Bay. Couldn't be happier for him. It sucks it couldn't work out in Cleveland, but even Baker Mayfield has said himself, it was never going to work out. I was too immature. A lot of it was on me, and a lot of it was on the team, but I need to take my responsibility for my half of it. I was not mature enough to lead that franchise. I am now, and I'm happy for him. I hope he finds more success. But yeah, he definitely will be on this team in 3 years, and I don't see him as a bridge quarterback anymore. I did see him as a bridge quarterback his first year in Tampa, but I don't see him anymore as a bridge quarterback. He's their guy for the next 3 or 4 years. Jalen Hurts, same thing. I'm going to put him above Brock Purdy. I don't think the Eagles go out and find another quarterback. I think Jalen Hurts is their guy. Love him or hate him, he wins, right? He finds ways to win. He has a career winning percentage that's very positive. He's won a Super Bowl, been to another Super Bowl as well, and he had a great Super Bowl performance against the Kansas City Chiefs. He had a great game. So in my mind, Jalen Hurts is safe. He's going to be on the Eagles for the next 3 years. They're going to build their roster around him, even if it's with or without A.J. Brown after the trade deadline or next year. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Jalen Hurts is going to find a way to get this offense to win games with this elite defense. I have no issues with Jalen Hurts. I have no worry that he's not going to be on the team in 3 years. Next, we have Dak Prescott. Same thing. I'm going to put Dak behind Baker Mayfield, only because of age and money. That's the only reason he's behind Baker Mayfield. Dak, he knows how to win games. He knows how to put up big stats. And I think that is important to the Dallas Cowboys is, hey, do we have a quarterback that makes fans excited to watch the game, excited to play? And that's what Dak Prescott is. Is he the greatest quarterback in the world? No, he's not. But he puts up big yardage, puts up big touchdowns, puts up big numbers, and he's consistent. That's the key thing. Dak Prescott is consistent. He will always get you over 200 yards and at least 2 touchdowns. It will always be that stat line no matter what. I think Dak Prescott is heavily underrated. Put Dak in any other NFL franchise with the exact same stats, everyone would love Dak Prescott. He's a good person, great story, and I just think 100% Dak Prescott is going to be a franchise quarterback in 3 years. Spencer Rattler, I'm put as a backup quarterback. He's played really well this year, but again, it's for the Saints. No one really cares. I do think Spencer Rattler, again, is better than a backup quarterback. I think he can easily be a bridge quarterback for an NFL franchise. But for me, in 3 years, I think he's going to be a backup. I don't know if he's going to be a bridge. He's not going to be on the Saints in 3 years. I know that much. But is another franchise going to give him the opportunity to start in 3 years? I don't think so. But he's going to be a backup quarterback. That's a good gig, right? Bounce around the league for, 5, 6, 7 years and hold a clipboard, play in moments when guys get injured. That's going to be Spencer Rattler's career. And that's not a bad thing, but he's looked really good so far in New Orleans this year. But yeah, in 3 years, I see him as a backup somewhere. Russ, 1-year flyer at the very bottom of that 1-year flyer. I think Russ is done. He looks cooked in New York. I just don't see him. Yeah, no need to talk about it. Jackson Dart, again, he's a rookie. I'm gonna put the end of franchise quarterback. They hope he's a franchise quarterback. He's played good in his first couple of games. I do want to see him, throw the ball more. I think he relies too much on his athleticism and him running out of the pocket, getting first downs and touchdowns. I really hope he can develop his passing game more. But again, he's a rookie. I'm gonna put him in franchise QB because they want to get we don't unknown. However, Dillon Gabriel, I will be putting in bridge quarterback beneath Kyler Murray, beneath Bo Nix. It'll be nice. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna put him above Tua though. I'm gonna put Dillon Gabriel and bridge quarterback. Again, I don't think he's bad. I don't see him as a franchise quarterback though, right? He doesn't have a big arm. He doesn't make the big plays, big throws, but he's the type of guy, he can come in, start a game for you, and put up 60% completion percentage, 150 yards and a touchdown, right? He won't turn the ball over. He'll do his thing. He'll dink and dime you, and you'll get a touchdown or 2 in a game with him, but he's not gonna put the ball in harm's way. That's exactly what you want in a bridge quarterback. A guy who just goes in there, plays ball, doesn't make big plays, doesn't make big turnovers, and he comes out of the game unscathed. That's what you want in a bridge quarterback. That's Dillon Gabriel. Jake Browning, I'm going to make a new. How do I? Add a row below. Let's see. Out of the league. There we go. Jake Browning, sorry, man. You're out of the league. Piss poor this year. After what was it, a year or 2 ago when he played, he looked really good for the Cincinnati Bengals. He looks putrid this year. He might get a chance in the next year to be a backup elsewhere, but I don't see him in the league in 3 or 4 years. I don't see it. I just don't see it happening. Sorry, man. I hope you save all your NFL money so you don't have to work another day in your life. That's my hope. But this is my franchise quarterback tier list, right? In franchise quarterback, you have a lot of guys that are obviously at the top of the league in their position. You have guys that are rookies or year 2 players that you have shown a lot of flashes. You have the bridge quarterbacks. You have guys that are both on their rookie contract that you're like, you know what? In 3 years, I don't know if they could be on this team. We got to let them play out their rookie contract, though. Or you have guys that are on their second and third contracts with different franchises that drafted them that you're like, you know what? If they play consistently, I think they could be on the team they're at right now in 3 years. Backup QB, 2 different guys. One young that I think is going to be a backup for a long time, and one old who's starting right now that I think in a year or 2 is going to be a backup and be very comfortable as a backup. 1-year flyer, again, mostly old guys at the tail end of their careers that, you know, if you just want a 1-year guy with a lot of experience, you sign him. And then one young guy who's like, you know what, he's shown a lot of promise, but it's not really a multi-year plan. And then out of the league is Jake Browning. So if you guys enjoy, please like, comment, subscribe, hit notification bell to be notified when I post next. And let me know in the comments down below. Who do you think I got wrong? Who do you think I got right? And I'll see you guys later. Peace and bye.